They say I'm obsessed, that sim racing courses through my veins. They say I'm consumed, that I chase my goals with relentless fire. They say I'm unreasonable, that pushing the limit is my only desire. But I heed to a different call. The roaring of a virtual engine, the whisper of perfect force. Passion isn't a price tag. Passion is felt in every detail. The barrier is broken. The threshold of direct drive realism is here for every driver. Driven by passion, powered by PXN. New gen direct drive is now. Discover the PXN VD series.
Hello everybody and welcome to the PXN Legends Qualifier 1 afternoon session. We're live from Monza in Italy and we're aiming to qualify the top 10 track times in both the AM and PM session. So we'll take a look at the times in a bit. But for now, let's have a quick look at what is happening. We're in Open Qualifiers 1, and so, as we mentioned, this is in Italy and it's happening today. Next week we'll be moving on to Fuji in Japan for Open Qualifiers 2, and then a closed Qualifier 3, which is everybody who has participated in the Open Qualifiers but did not qualify in Q1 or Q2 gets a chance to get those last spots in. We're then going to take a break over the Christmas holidays and we will return with the final tournament starting in January. Monza is obviously a very, very famous track, one of the most important in my home country, and to give us a look at how to compete on the track and how to get your best lap time, here is a lovely track guide made by Ryan Grob, which you can find on YouTube. Essentially Ryan Grob F1, and Daniel, who's our man on the track.
Let's ride on board with the LMGT3 BMW at the legendary Monza circuit for the PXN Legends Cup Qualifier 1 around Monza as we head into the Rettifilo chicane, brake just before the 100-meter board, down into first gear and focus on getting a good exit. You can use the exit curb as we then make our way up the gears, heading towards Curve a Grande. A pretty good spot for overtaking if you can nail your exit out of turn 2, but once again it is a very tricky chicane to nail and has a lot of time to be left on the table. Once again braking at 100 meters down into second gear. You want to use the sausage curb on the first apex and use the track available on the exit to maximize your minimum speed in this BMW. As we head into the first Lesmo, one downshift into third gear, throw the car in and use all of the curb on the exit. Same for the second Lesmo, 50-meter board, one downshift and use and extend the curb on the exit as we then head through Seraglio, heading down into Variante Ascari, one of the best corners on this track, high speed and really requires precision. As we head into sector 3, down into third gear, cut across the curb, use the curbs for your rotation but make sure to not use them too much or that will unsettle your car. And from here we've got one more corner to go. It's Parabolica corner, the last corner of this Monza circuit to close out the lap. It's a pretty good lap so far as we're going to brake at the black box on the left as our reference, down to third gear, stay nice and tight to the apex to reduce the distance driven, and then coming past the pit lane and across the line. That is going to be your track guide here ahead of the qualifier 1 of the PXN Legends Cup at Monza.
So there you have it. That's the best way to complete the track. Thank you to Ryan and Daniel for providing the video. We're now live looking at the qualifiers. It is a close qualifier, so there will never be more than one car on the track at one time. We're now following Oscar on his Ferrari as he's in third position at the moment. But let's take a quick look at the Q1 qualifying times, so we know what the Q2 folks here racing need to get to the top position. The current 10th position at Q1 AM is at 1 minute 50 seconds .103, and that's by Cat Pergazio on the Porsche. And the fastest lap in Q1 AM was by Gianluca Rigatti at 1 minute 49 seconds 539. The top 10 are all within about 600 milliseconds of each other, so the qualifiers are absolutely super tight right now, and it's all to play for in Q2. Now, one thing obviously, as this is our first ever tournament and the first time we've ever live streamed any tournament of sim racing or otherwise, there was a few hiccups. So there was also an extra qualifier in the morning to make sure that everybody gets the chance to race, and the same thing is going to happen this afternoon with a second server going live at 2:30 UK time, so that's in 4 minutes. You can still register for that in the next 4 minutes, but after that registrations will be closed and you will no longer have access to qualifying 1. So make sure that if you haven't, now is a good time to get involved. Let's take a look at Fulvio Di Polito, who's chasing for that first position. Fulvio is also already qualified thanks to his lap time in Q1 AM, currently standing in 5th position, but it's all to play for. Please keep an eye out, guys, as well, as we are going to update the top 10 timings proper, which include all of the laps taken throughout the day. And the next update is going to be live on Discord soon, and then we're going to also put it on screen so you guys can see what these races are aiming at in order to qualify for the tournament. The tournament itself is going to be butter smooth, and that's a promise. And it's on live stream, so keep an eye out if I make a mistake during the actual tournament races. The tournament races are starting in January, and they're going to be composed of a maximum of 24 races. That is what we've announced. That means that 10 people qualifying today, 10 people will qualify next week, and then anyone who hasn't qualified in the first two open qualifiers will have a chance to race each other in Sebring in the United States just before Christmas, and that race will have the last 4 positions available for the final tournament. Now in the final tournament, we're talking 4 race days on Saturdays, and we're going to feature back-to-back qualifier and race with no open practice time, or maybe we'll do 5 or 10 minutes of practice time. That's still to be decided. But one of the exciting things about the tournament is that race 1 will most likely feature very good weather every time, but then we're going to switch it up a little bit in race 2. So we can expect rain, we can expect nighttime races. We're not going to invert the grid in any way, so whatever you qualify as, that is your starting point. But then you have the opportunity to not only fight against your fellow racers, but you're also going to be dealing with different weather conditions, different lighting conditions to keep you on your toes. And here we go, we're looking at Di Polito might just get his time a little improved as he turns the Parabolica and heads into the last section of the track. Will he beat his own time? Just by 1/7 of a millisecond. Still in second position, still qualified for the tournament proper as of now. And let's head over to some more of our races, as Jallo just also passes the line on currently in 5th position on Q1 PM. Let's go on board with some of the other races as well, see how they're faring. Whoa, I hope that my camera changes didn't cause that. Slipped there in the turn, but back in action. Now our top racers are all in the pit, whilst Alfano is still racing, still trying to get more better times in. At the moment, reaching the line with just 0.8 of a millisecond from his faster track. Really imposing his speed on the track right now. Excellent work. Let's go a little lower, let's see who else is already partaking here. Carratetto with his first time placement, we just caught it live, and that ensures a 6th position. This time currently is in the top 10. As I said, we're going to take a look at those in a while. But for now, competition is strong. The final tournament is going to be crazy. If it turns out how balanced these kind of qualifiers are for now, it's really anybody's chance to qualify. Now we're following with Liberto. Let's see how Liberto is working with a nice Brazilian livery. We love it. We love to see it. Check that out. Absolutely beautiful on that BMW. Let's go on board with Piazza now, who just missed out of the top 10 last time around. I think Piazza placed 11th or 12th in the top 10 in this morning, so now a stronger time generally. Still a bit of work to do in terms of getting into those kind of places. But again, this is really a matter of speed, it's a matter of affecting your lap. We're giving the conditions to the racers so that they don't have to pit often. The tires will not be worn out. They start with warm tires. We're talking maximum capacity to do the best that they can. The setups for the cars were left to each individual racer, so each individual racer had the opportunity to set up their car as best that they wanted, and of course LMGT3 vehicles are all unlocked, so everybody's favorite cars are on the track, and we can see that with the top 6 being completely different makes. So we got obviously a Mercedes up top, a Lexus, a Ferrari, Porsche, we got McLaren from Woking on 5th, and we got 6th and 7th BMWs right now with Piazza, which we're on board with at the moment, also in the Lexus. Let's take a look at Jallo in the beautiful orange McLaren, shaving that time, currently in 5th position, looking good. I'm gonna take a few moments off the voiceover of the stream. Let's go ahead with Alfano, who's on top of the leaderboard at the moment, and keep an eye on how he's doing around the track. Stay tuned, because I'll be right back. back on the track with Stroprik, who's currently in 3rd position on the Ferrari. Timing is looking better and better on some of these races, with the top 2 right now securing a time that is better than their last time in Q1, or good enough anyway to remain qualified. And we're about just under 2 hours in the qualifying Q2, with server 2 also opening for anyone who had registered before the time was up. You guys will be able to join server 2 as well. Remember, you had to sign up before the server went live. So if you're registered on server 2, please begin your lap times. Those will be registered as well as everybody else. And for anyone at all who did not get to do Q1, Q2 is also available, and you're not going to be competing against those who are already qualified, so there's going to be plenty more spaces available for you to give it a go on qualifying day 2. That is in Fuji, Japan, and we're talking... Oh, here we go. Soprich lost the car there at the last minute, so let's get on with somebody else on track. As I was saying, Fuji qualified to AM and PM sessions will also be available. We're gonna open 2 servers right away next week, so there's a little bit less chaos in terms of getting on the track. I know that some of you didn't manage to get on this time around just because of the sheer interest that's been created behind the tournament. We're super excited to see how many people want to get on track, and slightly surprised by the great turnout. So thank you for getting involved. I just saw in the messages that the server 2 is not working at the moment. We will do our best to get that running right away. It looks like those who registered before the time should be able to race, but there's currently nobody on the track. So let us figure that one out quickly. As I said, worst case scenario, if Q2 server 2 remains unable to start, we are gonna do something for those who didn't get to race today, and our apologies goes out to you. I mean, as I said from the beginning, this is really a massive test for us, and there's only so much that you can test privately, given that there's only a few of us on the team. So to get a tournament of this scale, to have over 75 people wanting to race and having that 35, 38 race cap, I know we couldn't get everybody in, but it's amazing to know. And I know that the big prize is also included in the tournament. We've got the Vector X pedals, which are yet to be released, still under development, and those are going to be the top prize. These are low cell pedals. They're absolutely beautiful. I saw them in Dortmund, about the iteration that PXN brought to Dortmund last month, 2 months ago in October 2025. And those low pedals are going to be absolutely a game changer in terms of PXN. So keep an eye out on that and race your hearts out to make sure that you could take home and be one of the very first people to own those set of pedals. The second prize is the GT wheel, again yet to be unreleased, works with pretty much the VD series boxes and others as well with quick release, so keep an eye out on that too. As we lost Steve Giallo, just losing track of his car there in the second turn. It's a tight one. Everyone is pushing it. Everyone's trying to get the best times in. Of course, that's what you want to do. We keep it also quite casual so that if you crash, you can reset your car and get right back on it. We want to see who is best here at shaving their times, kicking butt. So keep it coming. Again, in terms of server 2, let us take a look at that now. I'm gonna mute myself for a few minutes as we try and sort that out. Again, I might announce on Discord that server 2 is not working, and if that's the case, please don't worry. Okay, we're gonna create a side chat for everybody who hasn't been able to partake, so that you have another chance. So stay tuned, keep racing, keep practicing if you're not able to qualify yet, and keep an eye out on our news. I'm gonna stop speaking for a bit. We'll keep looking and flicking through cars. So thank you for watching. Back in action, guys, following Steve Jallo, which is currently in 5th position. He had his best sector yet in sector 1 with a iffy sector 2, so currently still not enough time to beat his own record. Ooh, what have we got here? He lost control of the car, and Steve Jallo is out and back in the pits to start all over again. So let's take a look at Marcovella. We haven't seen Marcovella yet. Beautiful livery coming in with the Gladius livery here, the 193, making his way down the track. Currently half a second behind his best lap of the day, having raced 10 laps so far. Max fuel, let's see how far Marcovella can take it. Guys, it does look like server 2 is live now. I'm not sure if it was just some of the racers having issues with setting up, but I am getting the news that people are in server 2 now, and there's a few folks running in server 2. So I can't bring you the images for that one, but we will obviously update the times there as well. Or we'll figure something out otherwise. I'll be able to show you what is happening on server 2 as well. But for now, keeping our eyes on server 1 with just over an hour and a half to go. Some folks very comfortable with their times, having sat in the pit for now. If we take a look at the top 10 times from the previous qualifier, just to give you an update on where we left off in qualifier 1. I'm going to bring this to the screen in a moment. So you're going to be able to see who dominated the track in the first qualifiers this morning, which for those who managed to join, the first 35, 36 people, pretty much everyone was on the track. Honestly, it was insane to see just a second splitting the 2025 top lap time. So beautiful. I mean, absolutely competitive qualifiers right now. Nobody shaving too much time off or leaving the race with a crazy amount of time. I mean, in qualifiers 2 now, Alfano is a whole half a second above second position, and now Philippe. Ooh, what happened there? We got a better time recorded here, a few better time recorded here. Okay, all right. Things are shaking up. Things are moving fast. I'm gonna cut off the stream for a little bit of advertisements now, just so we set up server 2 as well, and we update you as well with the timings. But before I go to the ads, I did promise to show you something else, which wasn't this black screen. So maybe I won't do that quite yet. Let's take a look if I can get it up in a moment here. Here you can see the top 10 lap times of the morning. This doesn't include the new 7th position on the extra qualifier. We're doing things absolutely in rogue style right now, but I am going to bring that picture up in a moment. But here's just a look at the official Q1 AM top 10 times. As you can see right now, we have Gianluca Rigatti, which is 1:49.539. That time still unbeaten, so Gianluca still in top position, following by Maciek, who only got 1:49.586. That time still unbeaten, and Alessandro Alfano qualified with 1:49.890. His time has improved by a hundredth of a second, as he is in first position in Q2. That still keeps him in third position overall, with that 1:49.764. And after that we got Daniel, who qualified with 1:49.902. that lap time still not under threat. And some of the other folks on this list are still on the track, with Eliseo Bulino finishing Q1 AM with 1:50.147. That lap time got quickly erased by Ian Peffer, who wasn't able to race in Q1 AM, so he raced in Q1 AM extra server. And Ian qualified with a 1:50.059 time, which is still relevant for qualification at this stage. So I'm gonna take off these top 10 AM times now, and we're gonna go to some advertisements just while we set up server 2. So thank you everyone for supporting and watching so far. If you're watching, please say hello. Keep spamming your country's flags. At the moment, Italian flags are dominating the chat by miles, so go Italy. If anybody else from any other country supporting any of the races on here, please share the love, get involved in comment. So moving on to just 1 minute of ads as we set up server 2 and as we show you the latest times as of right now, who's on top, who's gonna make it to the tournament. It's still to play for. You got an hour and 30 minutes to go. Keep it going.
They say I'm obsessed, that sim racing courses through my veins. They say I'm consumed, that I chase my goals with relentless fire. They say I'm unreasonable, that pushing the limit is my only desire. But I heed to a different call. The roaring of a virtual engine, the whisper of perfect force. Passion isn't a price tag. Passion is felt in every detail. The barrier is broken. The threshold of direct drive realism is here for every driver. Driven by passion, powered by PXN. New gen direct drive is now. Discover the PXN VD series.
back on track. Currently with Muliana, who is in 11th position on the day. That time means he's just at 1 minute 50 something. Not good enough for today, as we pretty much feels like we're gonna get on the 149s mostly for everybody who will qualify, if things keep going as they are. We took a look at server 2. There is a few people on track on server 2. Best time on server 2 right now is 1:51, so we're not going to take the party there quite yet, as we've got the fastest folks in the mix right now here on server 1. Everyone is still on track. Everyone is still fighting for that best time lap position to enter and qualify today, so that there is no stressors in Q2. On their behalf, we're trying to join the servers, thanks to us messing that up a little bit this morning, and also opens up the track for a lot more folks who haven't been able to showcase what they've got so far. I know there's a lot of you who registered and are sitting in the pits and didn't get a chance to race at all today. The few folks who raced in the extra, I mean, big congrats to Ian, who actually recorded a really good time in Qualifiers extra. I've also got the most up-to-date times now in a little rudimentary Excel sheet, so we're going to update it and make it look a little fancy and chuck that on screen in a little bit. And we got a message here in, I'm not sure if that's, no, that is Portuguese. Let me see if I can understand. I understand that it's something to do with the PXN V12 Lite and its applications. Maybe its uses on PC and on mobile. I'm not too sure about mobile compatibility for the wheels, I must say. I haven't come across that before. Best place would be to follow the conversations on PXN's subreddit, which is brimming with life. And if not, you can also take a look at the PXN official Discord server. These links are available for you on the YouTube channel. Search PXN official, search PXN subreddit, search PXN Discord, and you're also going to be able to find those links pretty quickly to be able to access to all of our social media channels. You can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. You're getting all of the updates in terms of the tournament proper then. As Filippo Carrero may have, is that a finished fuel? No, he's just taking a break and going back to pits. Not happy maybe with the performance of his car in that last lap there. It's 20th lap, so let's go back with Alfano, who's already put in 30 laps and he just slipped out of the track. Turned around, he's first, he can afford to slip there with Philippe. We got Fulvio Di Polito just behind on 3.48 milliseconds. We've got Piazza, who's showing up nice and strong in this second qualifier 1 afternoon session in that 3rd position. If we click ESC now and take a look at the current standings, we can see that to beat 10th position at the moment, we need 150, 103. So Fulvio's already qualified because he well, at the moment Fulvio's lap time in Q1 morning was 1:49.93, so that still puts him in the top 10 for the entire qualifier 1, and nobody else at the moment can earn the bragging rights to enter the tournament, as the best lap times are still 150, 103 in 10th position. So that would mean that if we take all of the lap times as they are right now, minus the people that have already qualified, we have no new qualifiers in this PM session quite yet. But there's another hour and 26 minutes and 6 seconds to make sure that you guys who haven't qualified can keep bashing it out, keep it rocking. let's go. Let's get back on the track. And who do we visit? Let's go with the Ferrari of Soprik with that beautiful PXN livery. Love to see it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna use this one for the thumbnail of Qualify 1 live stream. Just a gorgeous Ferrari, that black and white, very nice. From Soprik. Squeezed in those PXN liveries in there. Fantastic work. And Soprik currently registering a 150.191. That does not officially qualify Soprik today as his best time. It just falls out by a few milliseconds. There's still plenty of time to shave that 1 millisecond off as far as we're concerned. So best of luck to anybody else there pushing to the limits of their cars. Keep it going. If for whatever reason you still haven't qualified or you still haven't partaken, well, it might be a little bit too late now. If you are registered and you are sitting in the pits and you still haven't taken your car for a spin, you still have an hour and 24 minutes to do that. That is plenty of time to come and show what you got. And for that very reason, let's go back to the track guide that Ryan prepared for us with Daniel to give us a look at how to master Monza to the best of our abilities so that you can get that really solid lap time. So let's take a look now at the track guide. Let's leave the track for a moment and let's head over to Ryan for the video.
Let's ride on board with the LMGT3 BMW at the legendary Monza circuit for the PXN Legends Cup Qualifier 1 around Monza as we head into the Rettifilo chicane, brake just before the 100-meter board, down into first gear and focus on getting a good exit. You can use the exit curb as we then make our way up the gears, heading towards Curve a Grande. A pretty good spot for overtaking if you can nail your exit out of turn 2, but once again it is a very tricky chicane to nail and has a lot of time to be left on the table. Once again braking at 100 meters down into second gear. You want to use the sausage curb on the first apex and use the track available on the exit to maximize your minimum speed in this BMW. As we head into the first Lesmo, one downshift into third gear, throw the car in and use all of the curb on the exit. Same for the second Lesmo, 50-meter board, one downshift and use and extend the curb on the exit as we then head through Seraglio, heading down into Variante Ascari, one of the best corners on this track, high speed and really requires precision. As we head into sector 3, down into third gear, cut across the curb, use the curbs for your rotation but make sure to not use them too much or that will unsettle your car. And from here we've got one more corner to go. It's Parabolica corner, the last corner of this Monza circuit to close out the lap. It's a pretty good lap so far as we're going to brake at the black box on the left as our reference, down to third gear, stay nice and tight to the apex to reduce the distance driven, and then coming past the pit lane and across the line. That is going to be your track guide here ahead of the qualifier 1 of the PXN Legends Cup at Monza.
Hi guys, back on track. Let's go. No updates in terms of new times so far. Nobody has recorded a better time to get on that top 10. We've got the translation. Okay, I thought I understood. My Portuguese isn't the best. I appreciate you clarifying that, and I agree with what you're saying in terms of people. It's not the first time we've heard into comments on getting that PXN V12 Lite receiving a new PC and mobile application update. We're aware of that, and there is a current live discussion on the Reddit discussing this very thing. And a lot of you V12 owners clearly are saying, you know, we want more updates on the wheel. PXN was very focused on releasing the VD series last year, so obviously that was a major focus in terms of future products and their ecosystem. But that doesn't mean that they've forgotten about everybody else who supported PXN thus far. So whilst I do not have an update for you right now, you will get that update coming to you in the near future. So please sign up to the Reddit, contribute to the conversation, let your thoughts be heard, because we are reading those comments, we are answering everybody's comments that we can get to, and we're talking actively to PXN as well, the team, Shenzhen, who is fabulous at answering everybody's questions and helping us communicate things with you. So please stay tuned. V12 Lite owners have not been forgotten. There will be news on that soon. Oh, as we see Piazza lose the back of his car with that crash. Love to see it. It's getting tight out there. Everyone is pushing the cars to the limits, of course, because you've now got 1 hour 20 left to get that best time. So everyone is bombing it down the track, trying to get those times, trying to beat their best times so that you can qualify for that top 10 in this Q1 session. Look, if you can, congratulations. As we said, the times are incredibly tight, and we've got a new visual coming up in the next few minutes that can show you what not the top 10 but the top 11 times as it stands right now. So you see what the 11th best time is and what the time is to beat. Incredibly tight. It's all there. It's all between half a second from first to 10th. Incredible stuff, and we're gonna get that image up to you for you soon, but we're gonna keep an eye out now. Let's go with Piazza again, because Piazza hasn't got a qualifying time yet, as we can see here, as is 1:51.6, so 8 millisecond of oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Piazza is currently in 6th position at the current time, so Piazza is in. Giacomo D'Angelo is not in yet, so let's follow him for a little bit. He needs about a millisecond to no, a 100th of a second to get included in the thing. So let's go with D'Angelo. Let's see Giacomo take on the track. In the meantime, oh hello Andrade Games, welcome. Sorry I didn't reply to you a little earlier than that. Give me one moment. Let's keep an eye out on this beautiful car as it makes its way down the track with that little visual bug there, zapping the car left and right. Here we are. I'm gonna do some real-time editing here with the sizing of things. Here our 10 best lap times this far. 10 plus 1, shall we say, because we can see the 11th. That is the best time that hasn't qualified yet. It's 0.02, 0.019 if we want to be correct, if my maths is right there. So Gianluca Rigatti in 1st position right now with that 1:49.539. We got Maciek Kasprzyk. Apologize, my Polish is not the best. I'll get there, especially as Maciek looking smoothly in 2nd position right now for that qualifying space. I fare a little better with Italian, given that is my mother tongue. So Alessandro Alfano in 3rd position right now, currently sitting in the pits, but that lap time he's just recorded comfortably in 3rd position. Daniel Gottschalk, our friend Daniel, who also created the track guide for today, is in a comfortable 4th spot with that 1:49.902. We're moving down the block with just milliseconds slower Fulvio Di Polito, which we can see is also in the pit right now, also comfortable in his morning qualifying time. Andrea Piazza, which we were just following a moment ago, in 6th. Ian Pfeiffer in 7th. Ian registered that time in the extra qualifying that we opened up when we had some server issues this morning. So oof, as we see Giacomo, he's bombing it. He's trying his best to get that fast lap time, and of course, bombing the car, trying your fastest also means that you might lose control, and that's admirable. You can get right back on track. He's deciding to keep that lap going instead of turning to the pits. This next lap to improve. And now looking back at the times, obviously you guys cannot see the full screen because you've got the big scoring system right above. I see Ian Pfeiffer here twice though. Maybe we had a little copy pasta issue. No problem there. Ian, your best time is 1:50.59, so we're gonna cut that second one there, and then some of the others. We're gonna keep this updated for you so it's nice and bright. But for now, this is the kind of times that you want to beat. If you really want to get to the final tournament this morning, you've got to try and beat 150. That's kind of the goal. Going back to Oscar Soprich's Ferrari, let's take a look at how we're faring here with that PXN Ferrari black and white livery, which might just win favorite livery of the qualifiers for me and the team here. Trying to best his position, which we're currently sitting at 150.191. Again, we're gonna have to shave those at least 1.5 in terms of milliseconds there before reaching a top 10, but these guys, incredible candidates to qualify in Fuji for anyone who doesn't make it today, because that is still going to be an incredibly competitive tournament. So I'll leave you with the sounds of the cars for a few minutes as I chat with my team and bring you some more information from both servers, as well as competitively who the best top times are with this afternoon. We got an hour 13 left on the clock. That is plenty of time to get your tires warmed up. They're already warm in this case, but getting those reflexes top notch and trying your best. Come on, let's go. We're back. No major time updates besides Gacior in the Porsche making his way to second position. He's now parked in there. Let's take a look at how that time looks in terms of the top 10 total times. Casper Gazior is at 1:50.076, meaning he gets to currently sit at 10th position, okay, by 2 milliseconds. So the top time, the top 10th time was 1:50.078. It is now 1:50.076, meaning that Casper has beaten his own top 10 time by 300th of a second. So making his way up to 9th position and knocking somebody down a little bit. But Fulvio is at 1:49.908. Fulvio also better than his time at the moment, meaning that he's also up there on the charts. We're going to update the top 10 times again for you shortly, as you're seeing them here on my screen. These are the top 10 times for Q1 afternoon. So let's get back on the track and let's see our cars bombing their way down the track. We're going to give you another timely update soon. So keep watching. If anyone for some reason is watching the PXN Legends series qualifiers ahead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix F1 qualifiers, which have finished recently, and you for some reason don't know who finished in the top 5, Verstappen qualifying 1 and Q2 and Q3 on top in number 1 position, followed by Lando Norris and followed by Oscar Piastri. That is your starting grid in the top 3. George Russell in 4th position, Charles Leclerc in 5th, and Fernando Alonso in 6th, following by Bortoleto in 7th, Esteban Ocon on 8th, Haja on 9th, and finishing the top 10, Yuki Tsunoda in 10th position in his last race at Red Bull. So that is the Formula 1 qualifying lap times for anyone who was interested. Excited to watch the race tomorrow, the last of the season, and it's literally still autoplay for the championship. Incredibly exciting there in Formula 1. But returning to us here in the GT3 Monza qualifiers run for the PXN Legends Championship, things are spicing up now that everybody's nice and warm. We got Ian Pfeiffer scoring a better time than his last one, beating that 150, going into what is 1:49.855. Solid time. That definitely earns you a top 10 position as we speak. Although he has already qualified, he is now currently, the live standings puts Ian in 4th position proper. So let me get those times for you again soon. You'll hear a little bit of quiet in the next few minutes as you can enjoy the rumble of the engines. We are here. We're preparing the next update for you in terms of lap times, so you're up to date. And we'll speak again shortly. So stay tuned, keep watching, and best of luck to our races on track today. You're doing an incredible job. Hi everyone, welcome back. I mean, you probably never left. It was me that did. But we've got here the top 10 current best times as things stand. People are getting faster and faster. It's getting absolutely crazy out there. As expected, more and more people are shaving off their times and they're beating that 150 lap time. Currently, the top 10 positions are, as you can see here, 149.539 is still the best time. That is Jeremy Karigaki, followed very closely by Maciek, who is in second position by an absolute fraction of a time. Alessandro is behind with 2 seconds. 0.1 second behind him is Ian Pfeiffer, and again an absolute microscopic amount of time splitting Ian Pfeiffer and Daniel Gottschalk at this stage. In 10th position is Kasper Gazior, who currently just registered that time, beating the best 10th time that was before that, which happened to be let me double check that for you. Alright, Kasper is actually beating Alessandro Santoro. The image is flipped there. Kasper is in 9th position, Alessandro Santoro is in 10th position. So the best time to enter is still 150.078. 076. Oh, we're there. I see Ian here getting closer and closer to Alfano. Ian is qualified. He's in at the moment as things stand. His best time of 149.855 is still on the one on the clock and the one on the list. So I'm gonna remove this image now because it's gonna keep being updated as we go by. But that is your 1 hour left update. So still plenty to come. Let me give you another update just in terms of who right now that is racing has qualified. As Ian gets to the pits, he's comfortably fixing his beautiful Mercedes as Alfano continues to take on the track and remains in first position. Half an hour ago he was ahead by 0.3 of a second, and now that gap has closed down to less than 0.1 of a second. So you can see that everybody is picking up their paces for sure. But who's not yet qualified, who's just outside the top 10. Let's take a look, shall we? Just outside the top 10 at the moment is Marco Vella. Marco Vella has yet to qualify. I'm keeping Andrea Piazza in there because Andrea Piazza, his best time in Q1 AM was 150.023, so that puts him in 8th position total. The first time above 150 that registered as a top time as we speak. Oscar Salvage with the beautiful PXN library is still sitting at 150.191, has not been able to update his best time since we last saw it. Eliseo Gulino, who did get a top 10 lap time in Q1, was quickly knocked off by Ian, who joined in the extra track. And again, Ian is overperforming. No, he's performing. I don't know if he's overperforming or underperforming. It's the first time I see Ian race, but he is currently in 2nd position on the afternoon and in 4th position proper for Q1 total. So another really exciting time there. Let's get back on the track. I mean, Steven Giallo, Filippo Carretto is in pits, Alessandro Santoro is currently in 10th position proper, I believe. We'll double check on that. And here's everybody else. Giuseppe, Cabo Conrad, and here's all the other folks also registering the time. The slowest time right now by Marian Santara is just 152.884. That's 3 seconds off the lead and about 3 seconds something. No, and it's just pretty much 2.881 off 2 seconds, 0.81 off top 10. So the gap is just a 2 to 3 second gap at the moment. But every centimeter, every second, every turn, every bend, it all counts to get into the top 10. As we move back with Casper Gaisior on the Porsche, another very, very, very beautiful library with the PXN logo here as well. Casper is comfortably sitting in 9th position. I don't know how comfortable really that is. You've got to keep working on his time. Giacomo D'Angelo just above him in qualifying. He's sitting at 9th, and then Andrea Piazza in 8th position as things stand. Again, there's still all to play for. Still lots is going to change. And whilst we keep an eye out on the races, let's go and see who else has been registering a better time than their previous ones. We've got 52 minutes left on the clock. Here we are, Piazza in the Nexus. Slowing down, it looks like it's going to be a pit stop for Piazza. Let's move to Marco Vella. Marco Vella, who just scored 150.2. That's 0.14 seconds off 10th. So Vella doing his best to try and beat that 167 lap time, which is his best lap time so far. If we move over to Soprik in the PXN library Ferrari, let's see how he fares in this last turn. The game is telling us that it's about 0.24 behind his best lap time, so still plenty of work to be done there. We need to shave some more milliseconds off the clock. Let's see how Golino is faring in the BMW. Golino, he had a position in the top 10. He lost that. He's currently pacing at almost 1 second with 0.8 seconds faster than his best. So let's see how he does in the Parabolica and how he ends up the lap as we get onto the last turn. 0.75 seconds. It's losing a little bit of that speed from Parabolica, but he still records a very, very, very good Sector 3. His best so far. Where does that put him? Still outside the top 10, just by less than 2.2 of a second. What else is happening here? There's a lot of folks. Let's go and take a look at some of the other folks who still haven't had much screen time. We've got Guagliardo here in the BMW. Guagliardo, who is currently sitting at, let's take a look. Guagliardo, where are you, my friend? You're a little lower here, 150.842. That's 1 second slower than the best lap time from this Q2, so this Q1 afternoon session. In that traditional sort of BMW blue and white, going down the straight. Hear the engines roar as we proceed. Currently just a little ahead of his time. Let's see how he deals with his 2 turns here. 0.1 of a second slower than the best time. Plenty of work to be done. Let's move over to Jasmine, who we haven't met yet either, as we've been hanging out at the top of the table, but we want to see everybody competing. We want to see how everyone is doing. So far the best lap for Jasmine is 157.50, as the second one is in orange, so a few issues there. I don't know whether that is just a visual bug or whether he hit the wall there. Lots of things happening. Let's follow Liberto in that beautiful Brazilian livery that we spotted before, currently doing quite well on the sector. And let's see how he finishes off. We're gonna see him all the way into Parabolica, see him get that last turn in, and what kind of lap time we're gonna get here, as it's 0.666 above the first position it's currently stand. We're gonna take another look at the top of the table, but for now, happily seeing all of those who are competing here just a little bit off the best time, with a strong S3 and a little trouble in S1 and S2, but plenty of work again here to be done, but lots of good stuff as well happening, as Liberto now is on his 36th lap, really using that time. Tarnowski here also in the PXN Porsche, wonder if he's a member of the team, into Parabolica, out of Parabolica, sector 1, sector 2 in beautiful green. How did we finish sector 3? Let's take a look. 149.872. What a lap time. That definitely pushes things in the list in the top 10. So it was awesome to catch that live. That's why you gotta give everybody a fair chance. Boom, smashed it into 3rd position on the afternoon, and definitely as things stand in the top 10 proper. But shall we have another look at the top 10 updated? We're gonna prepare for you. We're going to prepare them for you now. So let me just tab out and just take a look at what the situation is here. If I can, I hope that this flickering doesn't bother you too much. Our computer forgot how to screenshot, or is struggling a little bit. But there we go. We're going to update you with another beautiful visual coming soon, but now we're going to stay on track with Tarnowski, because he is really got it pedal to the metal right now. Ian Pfeiffer still killing it in 2nd position. No improvements there on his best lap time. Alfano still in top position. No improvements there. But that gap between the top 4 is shorter. Oh, and he loses control of the car again. This is crazy. What a crash. Insane. Again, these guys are really giving it their best to secure that top 10 lap time, and of course these things are gonna happen. Luckily there's nobody else in the track, otherwise it could end up in absolute mayhem. But this is what we want to see. We want to see you guys pushing it to the max, getting that car as fast as you can get it in your current setups, which we want to find out more about as people qualify to the final tournament. The final tournament section is going to have interviews. We're going to get to know our racers a little more, but for now we're really just keeping it open for everybody to compete. So here we see Ippolito, who's also in the top 10, getting into that Parabolica in one of his better times in the sector. He finishes at 1:4.97.92. Looks like that's his best time yet. So again, things keep on changing. Times keep on getting shorter and shorter. So it's still all to play for. I can't say for certain that the top 10 is going to be the top 10. And again, look at that. Ippolito, he's bombing it. He's going as fast as he can. He loses control of this car. Moving on to Pfeiffer, who's been one of the best mans on the track so far. Lost that second position total, now in third with a Mercedes, still doing super well, still qualified with the current lap time. So great things to see. And now we're seeing these Mercedes and Porsches. Really, the German vehicles are taking most of the top 8 right now. So there you go. Some people's choice are really showing, where others are a little back behind. That's all for me for right now. We're gonna keep the live stream going. I'm gonna mute myself in a moment and throw in some. Actually, I'm not gonna throw in some ads at the moment because things are really spicing up. So I want to keep the action going for you guys. But mute myself for a few minutes as we prepare those update on the top 10. Hello everyone, I am back with a little bit more commentary. We're seeing a few of the top guys now taking pit lanes, maybe taking that well-deserved break, and we're also seeing some new folks on the track, with Ryan Grubb recording his first lap with that beautiful red light. Let's see him as he turns into, as he goes down the straight at 1:16 at the moment, looking lovely in turn 1 and 2 out of there, boom, as the last turn of his first qualifying lap. Let's see what kind of lap time we're gonna get from Ryan Grubb. We'll be following all the way around Parabolica now. Let's get that. Yes, fifth gear is on. And that is a 1:52.268 lap time for Ryan Grubb on his first ever lap of the day. So plenty of warming up there to be done, and we're going to see those times, I'm sure, improve over the next few laps, as well as Santara, who's currently out. Oriana, who's been 50 laps, really grinding it, really love the dedication to the cause. If you don't qualify today, despite all your incredible efforts, there is 2 more opportunities to qualify, so it's not over yet. And a solid 6th position within a minute of the first place is still incredibly tight, so it's all to play for. Let's walk our way up a little bit. Jasmine in the Mercedes. Again, he's also turning into Parabolica now. A shaky lap. Lap 14. Maybe lost 20 seconds of his best lap time. Maybe an accident there that we missed. Or maybe this is the first lap out of pits since we last joined him. Going to our Brazilian livery friend Liberto, who is currently slowing down, so that means we're gonna move on to Carraretto, who's just turning into his, let's see what his lap recorded here is, 1:53.37, which is actually his current best lap time. So 45 laps in, just measured his best lap time, putting him in 13th position. Equal exact result as Giallo Steve, who is just ahead of him in the McLaren. Currently, I can see here, I don't know if this is right on the sim, 10 seconds behind track. It doesn't seem realistic, so maybe, oh, okay, that's a little visual bug there, for sure. Giulino is 2 seconds 0.6. Now, I'm not sure if these times are legit or if LMU is messing something up here. Let's follow the rest of the lap here and see what Giulino records in that purple and yellow livery. Poison Esports, lots of teams getting involved, lots of guys from different countries getting together and partaking in this tournament. So that's always really lovely to see. Giulino is looking like he's having a great lap so far into Parabolica. He's got 10 seconds to finish the lap. Where will he stand? Let's see. Also just recorded his current best lap time, 1:52.06. Of course, that is not good enough to qualify right now. That time that needs to be beaten, given our current overview of things, is 1:50.045. We're getting you guys another update soon, but that looks like it's the 10th best time. But I'm gonna press S quickly and take a look at the current situation on the top. That does indeed seem to still be the case, with Giacomo D'Angelo taking that 10th position with that 1:50.045. There's only 2 more spots above 150 in terms of who's qualified, right? So the top 10 positions look like they're all under 150. So again, people are really grinding it out. It's lovely to see. Let's take a look at what else is going on here on the track. Sofiane looks like he's recording, or she's recording the first lap of the qualifying here with a solid green S1 and S2, so racing quite well. Clean lap here, as it's the second lap of the day, and we'll keep following down all the way down to Parabolica and the end of the lap here to understand where Sofiane is going to place in terms of the leaderboard, having just logged in with 34 minutes to go. Not long. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough to be in the top 10. What will that time be? 1:51.819. That puts Sofiane in 19th position, just above Gronchi and Sansara, with just over 2 seconds off first position. So again, still got about half an hour to practice and get those times in. I'm gonna give myself a little mute and run a few ads right now, as again we're gonna do some stuff behind the scenes to make sure that you guys stay informed throughout the last 30 minutes of the qualifying in terms of lap times. So see you in a few minutes.
They say I'm obsessed, that sim racing courses through my veins. They say I'm consumed, that I chase my goals with relentless fire. They say I'm unreasonable, that pushing the limit is my only desire. But I heed to a different call. The roaring of a virtual engine, the whisper of perfect force. Passion isn't a price tag. Passion is felt in every detail. The barrier is broken. The threshold of direct drive realism is here for every driver. Driven by passion, powered by PXN. New Gen Direct Drive is now. Discover the PXN VD series.
so competitive at the moment with we just announced the updated times on the Discord server, and just as we sent that message, Fulvio Di Polito got an even better time, so we're gonna re-update those again and let you know shortly what the best up times are. I'm gonna chuck those on screen in about 2 or 3 minutes. Lots of new changes. Holy smokes. At the top of the table, we've got another great time by Eliseo Culino, who is now back in the top 10, and with that updated time, knocks off D'Angelo from the top 10. So Giacomo D'Angelo out of the top 10 into the top 10, Eliseo Culino with a new 9th position best, followed by Andrea Piazza, who is the 10th best qualifier right now. So we're gonna get those updated again. Oh, what a crash! Obviously, D'Angelo is now fighting for his life to qualify in Q1, really pushing the car, and of course these things are gonna continue to happen as we put our pride aside and really go for ultimate glory here. So crazy action here at Monza. Really exciting, and we're gonna get also a nice highlight video for you in the coming weeks that you can cook, eat and devour whilst you wait for Q2. I'm gonna mute myself for just a few moments while we get that updated top 10 with you. Absolutely insane. Only one lap is above 150 in the top 10 now. Only one lap. Everybody else has shaved off that 150 time. Amazing. So speak to you guys in just a few moments with the up-to-date timings. We're going to go to one quick ad as we just update the top 10. So it's going to be just a minute ad real quick. We're going to take a look at some PXN wheels. And we'll be right back with the track to see these last 20 minutes unedited, untouched. But I want to get another, we want to get the top 10 times view, and they keep updating it. It's getting absolutely insane up there at the top. Competition is crazy. So give us a moment to update the top 10. Watch this lovely ad about PXN wheels. I'll speak to you in 1 minute. Welcome back on the track. We've got just over 20 minutes to go for the end of Q1. The best lap times there on the right are a little funky at the moment. I'm trying to reset those somehow. Incredibly competitive at the top. Some people are calling for the early closure of the server due to their current satisfying top 10. I agree with you there. I would love to stop the count now, but we're going to continue for the last 20 minutes, and we're also going to give you an update from server 2. We're not going to hop to server 2, but we're going to give you an update there in case some crazy timings have happened in the last kind of 20-30 minutes. It looks like I'll give you a live update on server 2 as we speak. The best time is Vale at 1:51.544. 1:51 is not good enough at the moment to get into the top 10. It's actually just a second behind the top time. The current 10th best time is Andrea Piazza at 1:50.023. Kicking off Giacomo D'Angelo, Giacomo D'Angelo, who is 11th best at 1:50.05. Now, liking to see some of these sort of strategies in the last FIFA loses control there in a really good position. Let's go and take a look at some of the other races on the track. We got Tripolone here in this first, also from Poison Racing Team. It looks like it's an Italian racing team because there's a few of these lads on the track today. Lap 2, meaning it's the first lap in the not being outside the pits. Look at those fire red rims there, beautiful as the dust kicks up from that turn. 51 seconds into the lap. Let's follow through. We'll come back. Let's go and take a look and visit some of the others we haven't visited yet, like Yudi Steerer, who's down the straight now. His best time at the moment is 1:51.107. Yuri, who's only joined recently and has only done 6 laps so far, is currently doing really well out of the second turn here and off into Parabolica with 1:25 on the clock and 1:51 as the best time. The last time was a little slower, but so far all green in sector 1 and sector 2. Is it enough as we turn into Parabolica now to get on the leaderboard? We will see. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off that top spot, 1:58.90. Ulysteras just records his best lap time of the day as he crumbles his car into the side of the lane. Let's move on to Sofian. Sofian is now been racing for 12 laps. Shaky sector 1 and 2 this lap time, but things are absolutely still open for all these races. Let's take a look a little bit higher up on this. Has there been any updates here so far? Vella, who has just recorded a 150.018, has just secured 10th position. 10th position has just been secured, which means my trusty assistant Lorenzo on the side of me here is going to update that again. Who is getting knocked out? Andrea Piazza has been knocked out. Currently, he's still got 16 minutes, but currently Andrea Piazza, is he racing or is he not? Andrea Piazza is currently on the track as well, but not faring as good as this morning. So Marco Vella there, just securing that top 10 position. Very well done. Now, we're going to update that one more time, and we're going to let you know what the new timings are. We're going to pop it up on the screen in a moment. I'm just going to mute myself as I speak to Lorenzo and we prepare this next top 10 update. So keep an eye out on the track, and let's go. Stay with Pfeiffer for a bit. No, he seems to be slowing down. We're gonna take a look at Dipolito, who's currently qualified. Let's go with Oscar. Alright guys, let's take a quick look at the table together for this afternoon qualifier. As I mentioned, there's no updates in server 2, as in no better time than 1:51 at the moment in server 2. So we're looking at the best of the best, the fastest of the fastest so far. And Marco Vella has just secured his best lap time of the night at 1:50.018 after 57 grueling laps. Third, just after Oscar and Andrea Piazza, who both are at 70 laps. We got Steve Giallo at 67. I love to see that commitment in here in Monza today. So Marco Vella, with this lap time, is currently in 10th position. So we're gonna show you. Actually, we're gonna be updating you guys on Discord. Who's been knocked out? Of the top 10, it's Andrea Piazza. Andrea Piazza out of the top 10 as things stand. Now I will mute myself once again as I update the timings. Guys, let's take a Marco Vella. He just got. I'm gonna move this square out of the way. That thing came right off there at the end. He's been bombing it down to make sure that that 10th position, which he just conquered, stays his. But here's just an update of the top 10 as we speak. All right, Marco Vella has just secured 10th position by 0.0005 seconds of Andrea Piazza's time. Like, ridiculously short time difference there. Incredible. Honestly, freaking crazy. Now, we're on board with D'Angelo, who was in the top 10 until a moment ago. Let's take a look at his Giacomo D'Angelo's time now. He's not really that far off, is he? Same as Oscar Soprik, same as Casper Gassio. Casper Gassio was in the top 10 at some point today. Andrea Piazza was in the top 10 at some point today too. So super competitive stuff here. We've got a lot of challenges that definitely are going to have their say in Qualifier 2 in Fuji. And we're going to expect a lot of really fun races next year, because the talent pool for this tournament is just exceptional right now. It's so neck and neck. Alfano has been dominating that top spot for the last sort of 2 hours maybe, and that's good enough to secure position 3. And keep in mind, like, those two guys who came in Q1 in the morning, and there's a few more than just the two guys. We've got Gianluca Rigatti, we've got Maciek Kasprusik, and we've got Daniel Gottschalk. Those guys haven't registered a single lap this afternoon. Super confident with their times this morning. Okay, Gianluca and Maciek, they were first and second at the beginning of the afternoon split, and it is still the case. Those guys are still 1 and 2. Now, Alessandro Alfano, who's first here with a little bit of a better time than what he registered this morning, he doesn't give up. He's improved that time in putting him into 3rd position. And Daniel, who hasn't raced a single lap this afternoon, finished Q1 AM in 4th position. Having not raced at all in the afternoon, he is still sitting comfortably in 7th, which means that a few positions have been lost there. Is the strategy going to hold up? Is Daniel going to remain in the top 10? He's got another 8 minutes to spare here, and so does Eliseo Giulino, Dominic Bauer, and Andrea Piazza, who's actually out now, who was replaced by Marco Vella. Those are the new top 10. So it's all to play for. 8 minutes to go. We're here with D'Angelo, who's trying his best to catch up to Marco Vella. At the moment, 40 seconds in, not his best lap time of the day, with a sector 1 in orange. And let's see what Marco Vella is doing. He just lost control of his car in his last lap, but he's doing just a fraction better than his last recorded time right now. If he keeps this up, he could be catching Eliseo Giulino, like, who's less than a 0.1 of a second above him in the standings right now. We're gonna go live with Lorenzo in session 2 in the 2nd server. Any updates? No updates as we speak. The best time on server 2 remains 1:51.544, and that is a little short by just over a second for qualification round. So no news from server 2. Doing plenty of laps there. There's a few folks in there with 30 odd laps trying their best to qualify, and we're glad that some of you guys who might manage to, despite the issues in the morning, managed to really get in there and give it a go. So we're happy to see that. Alfano has pitted in his Mercedes, comfortable with that third position overall and first on the afternoon. Fantastic work there by Alfano. Pfeiffer, who was working in the extra and secured his spot in the extra AM slot, just smashing into the tires there as he tries his best again to conquer more and more positions. Pfeiffer is sitting very comfortably in mid-table right now, and a lot of people have just pitted out. So Tarnowski is in 6th position as we speak with that PXN Porsche. His time hasn't changed, remains 8:72, his best lap time. That's a solid 6th position. Dominic Bauer. Dominic has secured 8th position as things stand. He's not racing at the moment, so he's not on track right now. That's currently a comfortable 8. The person risking things the most right now is Marco Vella, who just qualified and is just in 10th position. But sorry for that pit lane pause. Let's have a look at some of these other cars, shall we? They've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to change everything. Dipolito just registered a better time. Dipolito, whose best time was 1:49.792, which affords him 4th position, has just recorded a 7:80, so 0.012 faster. We're not going to change that time and show it to you on the screen just yet because there's only 4 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go. But he basically keeps his current 4th position, but just shaved off a little bit more time there. So very, very well played there. The few folks here sticking to the pits now. There's probably enough time here for 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 laps maximum, depending on where everyone is positioned in the track. Let's go with D'Angelo, who just spins out into the grass here. I can't quite see what turn we're on. Oh, just in turn 1, turn 2, just in the beginning of the track. So a little time wasted here. What he wants to do now is make sure that cools off, finishes this lap, gets into the last lap with a little luck. Giacomo D'Angelo is currently sitting in 12th. Okay, so doing really, really well with his best lap time at 1:50.045. Giacomo, who had some trouble joining in the AM session, I'm glad he's here now, was sitting in 10th for a little while, maybe even 9th, was it 10th or 9th? So just out of the time there. This is not going to be a better time, obviously, because of what we saw in the first turn out of the starting. But Marco Vella as well. Marco Vella still holding on to his 10th position with both hands, grasping that. Incredible performance by Marco Vella, who's been racing for 64 laps. 64 laps. And just 10-15 minutes to go on the race when he gets into the top 10. He's going to be wanting to do his best to maybe better his time, to feel a little bit more secure. But as things stand, a good 10th position there for Marco Vella. And who else we got here on the track still? Let's take a look, shall we? Pfeiffer's still killing it. He's in 30 laps. He's qualified as things stand, so no major updates coming here. With the best time not improving since last registered in Q1 PM. We've got Sopichet with 77 laps under his belt. Now that is a dedication to the cause, with that PXN livery kicking up that dust there as he reaches 50 seconds on his lap time. Not the best lap time with the sector 1 in orange, but the hopes are not lost for these guys who still have a chance to qualify in the last 2 minutes or in Q2. Shall we remind ourselves when Q2 is coming up? Let's try. Q2 is Fuji International Speedway. That's race qualifiers 2. That's happening next Saturday. I don't have the timing on the screen, but that is happening next Saturday, so we're going to be talking about that on Discord a little later. Fuji Japan is going to be a beautiful one. You're really gonna have to give it your all to qualify in that next top 10, because looking at all the times recorded today in Monza that are outside the top 10, we're talking milliseconds, absolute milliseconds. So who knows? Geizo here on his semi to last lap of the day, doing okay. We've got 2 orange sectors here, but we are seeing 0.5 of a second better in the cream, so I'm not sure here what's happening with the timings, but nothing else has changed thus far. Oof, what a bang there. Oh, unlucky Geizo with that crash, and it doesn't stop. The Porsche bombing down the side of the track as these guys really are putting everything they've got on the track here to get those best positions. The top 5 folks are sitting comfortably in the pit lane, with Marco Vella also pretty much done for the night. D'Angelo on his last lap, we're gonna be tuning into that to see what happens there. Piazza on his last lap, just starting it, so just managing to get that last lap. You've got 9 seconds to go before the last lap chance is over. It's 3, 2, 1, 0. Now anybody who's gonna be coming across the finish line is gonna be done. We got D'Angelo still on the track behind this shrubbery here that LMU has just showcased for us. Not looking like its best time of the day on this lap, on this last lap, with a grey sector 1. Just behind him on the track is Piazza, who was kicked off the top 10. No updates there. Santoro is also on the track behind the shrubbery here. Let's change camera angle. Oh no, he's coming with his beautiful yellow Mercedes. Just under 1.7 of a second to the top 10 by Santoro. This doesn't look like it's going to update right now. Steve Giallo just finishing his last lap of Qualifier 1. Where will he end up in the top 10? He doesn't manage to make it to the top 10. 1:54.7 is his last lap. Who else is on the track? We go back with D'Angelo, who... What is D'Angelo's time? We missed him crossing the finish line. D'Angelo with 1:49.957. A last second push by D'Angelo, meaning Marco Vella is currently just out of the top 10 by 1 split second. And here comes Piazza on his last lap as well. Not strong enough, unfortunately. But one massive change as everyone is now in the pits. One last massive change at the bottom of the qualifiers there, qualifying table. We're gonna update the Discord shortly. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting PXN, for supporting us as a live stream. Big thanks to Daniel and Ryan for helping us with the track guide preparation. A massive thanks to Lorenzo for his support in behind the scenes. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. And we're gonna get a quick update of the lap times as things stand. Let's take a look at the top 10 in a moment. I'm gonna throw a couple more ads in there as we prepare that last top 10. That will be available in just a second. Let's take a look, and a massive thanks again for PXN for hosting the tournament. A massive thanks to B for supporting us with the background stuff. Thank you to Marcel as well for his help there. And let's go and look at some ads, and we'll be right back.
They say I'm obsessed, that sim racing courses through my veins. They say I'm consumed, that I chase my goals with relentless fire. They say I'm unreasonable, that pushing the limit is my only desire. But I heed to a different call. The roaring of a virtual engine, the whisper of perfect force. Passion isn't a price tag. Passion is felt in every detail. The barrier is broken. The threshold of direct drive realism is here for every driver. Driven by passion, powered by PXN. New gen direct drive is now. Discover the PXN VD series.
Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for waiting. Here's the top 10 best lap times of the day. Nobody with 1 minute 50 made it. Eliseo Gulino, they're grasping on to the edge of everything. Qualified in 10th. Giacomo D'Angelo in 9th. Dominic Bauer in 8th. Daniel Gottschalk in 7th. We got Jakub Konrad Tamoski in 6th. Ian Pfeiffer in 5th. Alessandro Alfano in 4th. And in the starting 3, we got Fulvio Di Polito with 3rd position. Maciej Kasprzyk with 2nd. And Gianluca Rigatti with 1st. That concludes Q1, day 1. Thank you so much for everybody watching. It was really fun, and I hope you guys had a good time. You enjoyed competing, you enjoyed supporting your friends. The stream is now over. I'm gonna thank you again. Much love from everybody who got involved today. Thank you so much for partaking, and best of luck when it comes to Q2. See you in Fuji, Japan next week. That is all from Teo and Lorenzo here to help. Thank you so much, guys.
you